Hi everyone, Chrissy here from the Chrissy B Show, and we are the UK's only TV show that's dedicated to mental health, well-being and success topics. Well, today we are doing a makeover special with a very deserving guest. Her name is Pauline Alexander, who struggled with bipolar disorder and border personality disorder. We'll be hearing how she's managing her mental health issues whilst also seeing the result of her makeover at the hands of the very talented Theresa Maegan Gregoire, who will also be giving her top tips on makeup. And later on, we'll be seeing how Pax Brown got on when he visited Pixar in East London. And I'll be giving you my top tips on how you can get the help that you need from those around you. Now, with Pauline's story in mind, today's episode is about the importance of always being open and talking to those around us. Speaking up is not something that comes naturally to many, but communicating how we feel to others is vitally important for our mental health. Now, personality disorders such as bipolar or border personality can often push those we love away. And if those people don't know what's going on, then these actions can often be misconstrued. So I'll be showing you how you can help talk about your feelings in the tips section later on in the show. But first, I want to hear some of your opinions on the matter. Welsh referee Nigel Owen says, never be afraid to talk about depression. It's a sign of strength to open up about it. It's not a sign of weakness. Lindsay says, the stigma on mental illness is so upsetting. People should be able to talk about their experiences and feelings to help educate others. Daddy says, I wish I felt I could open up, but instead I feel I have to keep my feelings to myself. Well, unfortunately, that's a common theme, and it's that willingness to open up that we are trying to get across in this show today. Grace sees the positive side. She says, I kind of like expressing my feelings now, because when you open up to a person, they have no choice but to tell you where you stand. And Madeline says, so my brother and I never talk about our feelings or open up to each other, but we just had a really good talk about our past relationships. And Courtney sums up the exact feeling we're trying to get across in this episode. That is, if you're keeping your feelings bottled up inside, open up to someone. Afterwards, you will feel a huge sense of relief. Well, before we meet today's guest, I wanted to show you this video that comes courtesy of the Mental Health channel. It shows that no matter what we might have materially or financially, we always have something to give. And as the title of the short film suggests, giving is indeed receiving. Let's take a look.
I have no clue how to wrap a gift. I've never done it before, ever, in my life.
I'll help
never.
you, don't worry.
Thank you.
The gathering place is built on giving.
Long ways or straight?
Long ways.
Like this?
Perfect.
You know, we give from our heart. A lot of times we don't have the things to give, so we give ourselves.
When you give something, you're not just giving material possessions, you can give a friendship. You can give happiness.
Every day when people come to the gathering place, they're giving something. And they're usually giving a lot.
How does that look?
Looks nice.
Hey Johnny, you look nice this morning.
Oh, thank you.
You guys ready for the party later?
As ready as we can get.
We're at the gathering place. The gathering place is a clubhouse. Members come from all over Houston. Everybody has some kind of issue with mental health, but that kind of makes them like anybody on this planet. We all have issues with mental health. Anyone who comes through these doors, whether it's physical disability or mental disability, what we have to offer is a welcoming community.
Good morning, members. It is now time for unit meeting. It is now time for unit meeting.
Morning meeting happens, kind of one of the first things that we do.
Okay, is everybody ready? Yes, ma'am.
It's not a staff-led program, it's a community-led program.
Trash and recycle. Coffee.
People volunteer for the activities here.
Tabletop. Tabletop.
You know, when you get a mental illness, people often start making decisions for you. So if you've had power taken away from a long time by an illness you didn't want and you didn't ask for, we want to give it back. And so what we're trying to do is create a model where people feel empowered to take charge not only of their activities and their daily schedule, but also of their life. One of the big problems with mental illness is its impact on life expectancy. A lot of the research points to 12 to 20 years less than the general population. We wouldn't feel right if we didn't address that with a lot of energy and a lot of vigor. We're looking at issues like nutrition.
Well, eating healthy, you'll be able to function better because a healthy body gives you a healthy mind.
We have a weight room. We have yoga.
I really want you to stretch. Feel that stretch all the way up and around.
We have morning walks. People are really focused on getting a little exercise, but they're also really supporting each other.
You get depressed and you get sad, you can come here and the people will talk to you.
Y'all ready? 1, 2, ready, sing!
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
Come on!
Let earth receive her King.
Hold it! Y'all off key. You're very off key. All right, let's try it again.
And wonder of his love.
All right. They did beautiful.
Hey, Mr. Johnny.
Hi, Michelle. How you doing today?
I'm fine. What's going on?
Things kind of bad right now. Right now, I don't have a place to stay right now. So, and I'm hoping that I can get something to get back on my feet.
Support at the gathering place is really based on the idea of trying to understand what each individual needs.
I'll look for a place, all bills paid, $500 a month.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be nice.
The staff just do an awesome job of helping people get things like housing, get to medical appointments, get to the grocery store, or access benefits. Other times that support is carried out or helped out through the members that are here.
Y'all doing good over here? All right, all right. Before I came to the gathering place, I was a mean person. I didn't even like myself. You know, you couldn't tell me anything. But I had to learn all over again. Being on the welcome committee, to me, it's a privilege to be up there. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the gathering place.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you supporting other people, not only is you helping that person, but you're also helping yourself.
Today, we are here volunteering at the water hole. We pick up trash, we do our best to keep the park clean.
Here you go, Ace.
Oh, thank you. Back when I was in middle school and high school, I was never happy. I would be picked on, I'd have a knife against my neck. It was horrible. I didn't think I had anything to live for. This, it gives me purpose. It gives me life to live for.
We're trying to focus on what would be an experience that would help that person feel whole or a great part of the community again. We call it a meaningful role.
My mom died, and I was dealing with that grief. I had a nervous breakdown and I tried to kill myself. After coming over here, I feel like my life has opened up again. It's just little things to do, but it's something that I'm helping somebody else enjoy their day, so I'm enjoying my day also.
Happy birthday, Uncle Johnny. Happy birthday to you.
That remix.
Thank you.
One of the bummers of having mental illness is the stigma. What we're trying to restore is the relationships, the ability to talk about what's going on. It's very difficult to get better alone. And probably the most important thing that this place offers is the ability to come together. So they're getting better together.
We are all family here. We try to let people know that, hey, we love you, we'll stand by you, we support you. All you have to do is just gather in. The meaning of Christmas is giving. In your giving, think about somebody else who don't have. You my little cup of tea, and this is just a small appreciation of my love to you.
Merry Christmas. Wow.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect this.
We are not just friends. We're not just people who work together. We are family.
You're welcome.
We enjoy each other, and we all know that we're okay.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Just to see the smile on someone's face.
Oh, wow, look at this.
That's the joy that I get out of it.
You're welcome.
You look back, you say, wow, I helped somebody today. Now I can help myself.
Well, thank you very much to the Mental Health Channel for that video. And if you'd like to know more about them, you can head over to our website, chrissybshow.tv, and click on our contributors section. Well, after the break, we'll be seeing the results of Pauline's makeover, and we'll also be getting some top tips from makeup artist Maegan Gregoire. Welcome back to today's program, everyone, where we have our real life story, Pauline, who's been having her makeup done by our lovely Theresa Maegan Gregoire. But before we see Pauline's results, let's first take a look at this.
Do you know someone who deserves a makeover and would like to tell their story? Perhaps it's someone who's going through a hard time or is always thinking about other people and not about themselves. Let us pamper them here on the show. And you can even nominate yourself. Get in touch with us via our website, chrissybshow.tv, and you or your friend could be the next person getting spoiled and sitting on the sofa having a chat with Chrissy. And the pampering could continue because every month we give away a fabulous gift of a spa treatment courtesy of the luxurious Thai Square Spa in Trafalgar Square. You will feel like royalty, so don't delay. Get in touch today.
Okay guys, so let's take a look at Pauline before her makeover. And here she is now. Well, I absolutely love Pauline's makeover. Welcome to the show, Pauline. It's lovely to have you on.
Thank you, Chrissy. It's nice to be here.
So you've been in the very good hands of Theresa Maegan Gregoire here. Mm-hmm. And why did you choose this particular? I mean, I think I know why you chose this particular look, but why did you? If you tell the viewers why you chose this look, she looks stunning.
You know what? It's just like sometimes when you look at a person's face and then you have certain colors that you know just will bring out their features, that you go for those things in your kit. I think with her, I chose, obviously, first of all, she just loves the red lip. So Pauline was telling me that I love a red lip. So, you know, we wanted to do something, and we actually used Ellie Spa Blood Red L101. It is the color of blood, as is in the description, and it suits absolutely all skin. Skins from, you know, light to very dark, and we've just made her eyes just pop. They're beautiful blue already, but with a bit of a violet taupey again. It's a matte cream shadow, very easy for if you're on the go. This is actually one of my products for best on-the-go products is Ellie's Spa range, because they're all, like you could see, little pens here. The blushers, the foundations, the concealers, everything is, you know, literally the size of a pen, and you can put 5 of these pens in your pouch and go. But we have the E116, which is a violet type matte shadow that we just blended into the crease there. We've also put a little bit of kind of smoky Yves Saint Laurent black liner, so it's a very kind of creamy gel liner. It's a pencil, but the way that the texture is, it's really movable, so we've just used a smudge brush. And the best way to do that, Chrissy, is you don't need to have the precision. You just actually dot close to your lash line and give it a little smudge, and it gives you the most beautiful, as you can see, smoky finish. But one of the things that I was going to talk about is getting that sculpted cheekbone. She's got amazing cheekbones to begin with anyway, so I didn't really have to do much sculpting, is it? But, you know, it's all about getting that 3-dimensional cheekbone. I think you would agree if I said that almost sounds like me on repeat. Do you not? I always say you need it's about the three-dimensional cheekbone, but it is. It's about getting, for lighter to mid skin tones, like just probably lightest. There's a blush called Harmony, and we've used that just, to go under her cheekbones and just up where the sun would hit. So you can actually use this as a sculpting powder before you put on your actual blush, even though it is a blush. And then if you've got, your blush, I've got copper tone here, you just can kind of blend that in to just above that line that you just made, that contour. And you could even add a little bit, it's all about blending as well, those colors into the skin. And the highlighter. So, I've got Champagne here from MAC Mineralized, and you just lightly, where, the tops of the cheekbone, yeah, you just lightly brush there. You don't want to go heavy-handed with this because the light will just really make your face just look a little bit too shiny. And so you want to just really, put this at the places that you want the light to catch. So we can put some just on top of her lip there. You can put some right at the tops, and you can add some.
So it seems like, as you're putting it on, it seems like it's so light that it's not really making a difference. But when you see afterwards, you can actually see everything come together. You can actually see. It makes such a difference. So, even if you've got, something like this, you can use this as a base. So you've got like your concealer palettes with different, you can use the darker tones to sculpt and the lighter to kind of, go about the areas that I've said. Same with the powders if you want to set that. So you can use the three different, powders just to go in the three areas, and you are rocking a three-dimensional cheek. Amazing. Now, Pauline, is this kind of a look you would go for? What's your normal makeup day to day, would you say?
I do like to experiment a little bit, and I do love my makeup. So most people see me with makeup. It's just something I've always done. Foundation, blusher. Definitely mascara. I've always done that since I was a teenager.
And you said you particularly like the red lips.
Oh, it's my favourite colour. I love red.
Have you tried this type of red before though?
No, it's beautiful.
You need to go to the LA Spa range, have lovely reds.
Okay. Well, thank you, Megan, very much for your tips again. I'm going to keep you on, Pauline, because we're going to speak about your story, because our Pauline has been through quite a lot, and she's being very brave today to tell us all about it and to help our viewers at home as well, to help them open up about any issues that they're going through. And Megan, we'll see you very soon.
Okay.
Yes? Okay. All right, guys, so before we sit down and have a good chat with Pauline, let's watch this video courtesy of Contact the Elderly, who are such an important charity, particularly at this time of year. Here we see the incredible impact talking about our feelings can have on our mental health.
I met my wife in Naples. I said, well, I've got to go home very soon, but I can't go home without you. Will you marry me? And my marriage lasted 64 happy years, and it wasn't long enough. When my wife left me, I was devastated. But then I thought, my wife always told me, you must live your life that's been given to you. And then I was introduced to Contact the Elderly through a friend. Every month, somebody hosts sort of a tea party for us. I put it in my calendar, and it gives me that feeling I've got something to look forward to. We're picked up by a car. Sometimes it's, quarter of an hour drive. Sometimes it's farther away, maybe half an hour. You've just got to sit there, relaxed, and just watch the scenery. Quite often it's in places I haven't been before. Sometimes it's somewhere I know, and I say, I know, I've been here. It's not so much the tea and the cakes, but it's the important bit is getting together, being able to talk to one another. You're taken in as one of their family for that afternoon. God bless these people that do this sort of thing, because they don't know really how much it's appreciated. You're sorry that the day has ended, but you feel exhilarated. You've unburdened what's been pent up for a month. Maybe you wanted to talk about something, and then you can relate to somebody there and tell them. Oh, it's a journey that it's so important.
I think friendship is one of the things that keeps us alive.
I think it is very important to have some friends and try to meet new ones.
It's one of the most important things there is in life, and the older you get, the more important it is.
Well, it's known fact that if you've got two really, really, good friends within a friendship, then you're lucky.
Well, I'm quite a happy chap. I'm quite easy to get on with.
Most of the friends that I have are a lot younger than I am, and seem to put up with me.
Apart from not having my wife anymore, I'm a happy bunny.
Oh, I think you have a smile on your face, that's it, and tell jokes.
That's what makes me happy, just getting out and about, meeting people.
I've had hard times, but I regard myself as being very lucky and very fortunate. There has been occasions in my life that I have been lonely, and that's when you can become unhappy.
Mostly I'm limited now to getting about. The poor old legs are beginning to go, but apart from that, I manage fine.
I've lost most of them. They've all gone away. It's sad, and especially in the house is sometimes quiet. Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week, there's no doubt about it.
Just having company for a wee while makes such a difference to people when they're alone.
It's one of the great joys of life to be able to meet people and chat to them.
And who doesn't like to find someone coming to your door and coming in for a cup of tea?
Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to today's program. Now, earlier we saw the results of Maegan's wonderful makeover for Pauline here, and now I want to learn a little more about Pauline and her journey, as I know she's been through an awful lot. But first, let's hear what our resident psychologist, Dr. Audrey Tang, thinks about expressing what we feel.
Hi Chrissy, thank you for having me. Another fascinating topic. Now, feelings are one of those things we do find it difficult to express, and this may be because we've never been taught how to express them in the first place. We might have come home from school one day and been told, oh, don't be silly, get over it, it'll all be okay tomorrow. And those platitudes, whilst I understand are so important, and really it probably will be okay tomorrow, it can lead us to think that some of the things that we're feeling are not important enough to be acknowledged. So just be mindful. It's always worth finding out about what happened rather than making assumptions, and once you have found out, it's much easier to work through whatever it is with the young person who's come to talk to you. Another thing we need to remember is that we actually express ourselves in very different ways. How I choose to express myself may not be the same to how you choose to. And this can lead to a juxtaposition or cross purposes of expression when we're trying to communicate. Just because somebody doesn't communicate in the same way as we expect to, it doesn't mean it's not happening. So we do need to be very aware of how other people might be thinking. Research has shown that men and women do express their feelings in quite different ways. For men, it tends to be more of a physical feeling. They talk about a tightness in their chest or a heaviness, whereas women, we tend to just like to talk and to get things out and not necessarily have any particular pattern of discussion, but just getting all of those emotions out. And of course, those two different genders do communicate quite differently, so be aware of how the other person expresses themselves. Also, research by a person called Schutz has found that people need different levels of expression, and this can cause a problem as well for us. Some people may need to express a lot and are happy to talk to anybody and everybody about whatever it is they're thinking or feeling. However, others may prefer only to talk to a select few, and that's okay too. But again, when you've got somebody who likes expressing a lot and somebody who doesn't or prefers not to, you can have this cross-purposing. So it's really important to be aware that it's not that we're not necessarily expressing ourselves, but that we might be expressing ourselves in ways that we don't necessarily understand of each other. There's a few ways which I found are very useful to help me express myself, and one of them is writing things down. We all know that when an email or something like that has really riled us, we tend to outpour all of that emotion onto our keyboard quite quickly. Hopefully we don't press send just yet. But writing has long been seen as a therapeutic way of expressing our feelings when we can't do it voice to voice. This way, because of almost its slightly impersonal nature, we're able to put things down on paper which we may not feel that we can express verbally. And through that, once we've got it all written down, we can then think about it and reflect on it later, or we can give it to the person who needs to see it. A word of warning though, when we do that, is if that is an outpouring of emotion, we do need to be a little bit mindful of how the other person might be feeling. Also, when we come to writing things down, it can be a very useful agenda if we have to have a difficult conversation. One thing that's very helpful is when we're very emotional, we do tend to get off the point, and then if an emotional discussion turns into an argument, it tends to be about who wins that argument rather than collaborating together to find a mutually beneficial solution. By being able to stick to an agenda or something that you can write down and always come back to, so the facts are always there, it's a lot easier for that discussion to remain as a discussion or even an investigation rather than a blame fest, which can be very painful for a lot of people and not healthy at all. So use writing down for both keeping us on track and also for keeping it there until such time as we wish to discuss it. That's another interesting thing, because we have a tendency to forget things, and because we don't want to forget something that we do need to talk about, we might go over it and over it in our minds. If we do that, it's making that imprint even stronger, and especially if it's been an unpleasant thing that we need to talk about or want to talk about later on, we're making those feelings more and more aggressive the more we keep thinking about it. If we write it down and pin it somewhere, it's possible to then revisit it later on when we're a little bit calmer. And again, it allows us to discuss things in a manner that's a lot more healthy. Lastly, and this is a little bit of a strange one, there's somebody or something I will show you that's very, very good at helping me express myself, and that is my little dog Brandy, who's right here. Brandy is a very good friend. She's a very good listener. But one other wonderful benefit about any pet is, of course, the more we stroke them, the more oxytocin we produce, the bonding hormone. It's a happiness hormone and it makes us feel a lot better. And you'll also find that pets are a really good non-judgmental place to talk as well.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, earlier we saw the results of Megan's wonderful makeover for Pauline here, and I want to learn a little more about Pauline and her journey, as I know she has been through an awful lot. So, Pauline, thanks again for agreeing to come on the program today. I know it's a bit nerve-wracking for you being on TV and talking about this at the same time, two major things, but it just shows your fighting spirit that you have, and you know that you are willing to be so open. So, can you tell us when your issues first started?
I suffered with depression through my teenage years, and I seemed to be all right when I had my children. I lost my father 16 years ago, and I used to care for him. He had multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
And I went away on holiday, and he died while I was away, unfortunately, so he was with other people.
Were you very close to your dad, obviously, because you were caring for him?
Yes, yeah. I was over there every day, so yeah, that was quite devastating. But I've suffered with bipolar all my life, really. But the border personality disorder was only diagnosed, well, about 6 months ago, really. I didn't even know about it, but everything makes sense now. It's quite nice to know that there's other people out there that have the same, you know, things that I have, because I've spent a lot of time sort of in my home, not going out, frightened to meet other people.
Okay.
You know, wouldn't even answer the phone, won't answer the door.
Okay.
You go from being right down there, and then gradually you will get back up. But my children say to me sometimes, they know, when I'm on my high, that's normal to me. I think that's
just
your
personality.
But they say no, I'm a bit hyper, and but I'm very sociable. I like to go out meeting people, and I can't believe that the other part of me is gets the way, you know. And it's quite a concern, really, because the lack of care in the community is, it's pretty bad.
Okay.
I've witnessed a lot myself. I have been in hospital.
Okay. What was that like?
For a while. It's a bit traumatising, to be honest, because there's lots of other patients with different problems. The only thing I think with that is, obviously, you've got the rest. You haven't got perhaps the stress of everyday things.
Okay.
You know, it is sort of to try and switch your mind off, you know, because your mind gets so overactive, and you think about silly things. You feel, well, I do. I feel guilty about stupid things I shouldn't even think about, you know, and then trying to press forward. It can be a struggle.
Okay. Well, what would you have appreciated, or you know, what maybe could hospitals do better in situations like this, do you think?
There's not enough staff. There's just not enough staff. I've actually helped other patients.
Really?
Yeah, I've helped them bath and dress, because they've asked the staff, could they help them? And, you know, they're doing their best, and they keep saying, you know, oh, yes, I'll come and help you in a minute, but they just haven't got time.
They don't get a chance to do it.
So I think the other patients, you know, I consider myself quite well compared to some of them. It is, it's quite disturbing, really.
Wow. I mean, it must be so difficult as well when you're trying to sort of get well yourself and then having to help others at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, Pauline, tell us, you know, you said, I just wanted to ask you a question. You said when you're on the high, and I don't know if that's the right term, correct me please if I'm wrong. But when you're like that, do you feel happy?
Yeah.
You do feel happy, okay.
Really sociable, very happy.
Yeah. And the lows, you just feel like suicidal sometimes?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I can't believe how I can be myself. And it's it's awful really for my family.
I was going to ask about the family. How do they cope with everything?
They're marvellous, really, I've got to be honest. They're really good. But it's quite disturbing for them because my behaviour sometimes is erratic, and I've gone off and they don't know where I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so...
Do they get support themselves, though, for that, or they just try and manage, you just try and manage as a family?
Yeah, we try and manage it ourselves, really, so...
Okay. But it's not a bad idea for them to get support as well, though?
Yes. Yeah.
Just even if it's just sort of the support in terms of talking maybe to other family members that you know are dealing with this at home as well, and just being able to express themselves, because maybe you don't always want to sort of express everything in front of your family, do you? Because you don't want to worry them, and
I think there's that stigma attached to it as well. You know, it's I mean, I think it's bad being a woman, but I think with a man, they're always meant to be strong. And they probably see themselves as weak because they're suffering. And I think a lot of people won't actually go to the doctor and say that they're suffering, so they don't get any help.
Did you do that, though? When did you actually decide to go and get help and for what you were feeling?
I think I got to the stage where my family knew that I was feeling really bad. And
they kind of persuaded you to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when they first heard the news of the issues that you were going through when it was actually diagnosed, would you say that made it easier because everyone knew what they were dealing with, or was it a shock? What was the...
Not really, because I was so up and down. I think initially a lot of people think you're putting it on. That it's not real.
This is one of the reasons that you are actually on today, because to actually explain that, look, this is an illness at the end of the day, and the same way that people go to the hospital, go to the doctor for a physical illness, for you also need treatment for these kind of things.
I know my psychiatrist said to me that it's very much like if you've got a broken arm, the time it takes to heal. And, with mental health problems, that applies also. So it does take time.
Pauline, I just want to ask you one final thing. If there's anyone watching now that has, the same condition or another mental health issue, and they're really thinking, oh God, I don't know how to cope with this. I don't know how, what to say to my family. What is there advice you could offer them?
I think they've got to try and be strong and talk to somebody about it, because unfortunately, with no help, I do know people that are not here today, and that's so sad. It's really sad.
And as we're always doing on this show, actually, it's always encouraging people to open up.
Yeah.
Pauline, thank you so much for coming on today to talk about this. I know it was a big deal for you to do this. You've done so well.
Thank you.
You did really, really well. And I'm sure that's helped our viewers at home. Thank you so much. And all the best for the future. I know you're going to keep fighting.
I am,
okay?
yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so don't go away, because after the break, we have lots more for you. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone. Well, now it's time to visit Pax Brown, who's been very busy scouring the country for the best places to eat and visit, all to help us improve our mental health and well-being. Today, he's been returning to his Italian roots by visiting Pizza in East London, a family-run pizza restaurant who he claims offers some of the best pizza in the country. Let's see how he got on.
Buonasera. So guys, here we are, one of my personal pizza favorites in London, Pizza, and in fact it's spelled P-I-X-X-A, so not the usual pizza spelling. Now this is a really unique kind of place because they serve pizza by the slice, and they have a really, really great selection from the normal margherita, which is just tomato sauce, mozzarella and basil, to the daily specials, sausage and scamorza, which is smoked cheese, They're really, really all sorts of pizza. And the great thing is, obviously, you can get it by the slice. So you can get one slice of each, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. Let's go. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
How can I help you today?
So I think we're gonna go for the daily special, which looks really great. Yeah, then we're gonna have a slice of the classic margarita, please. And then one up to you. You choose for me. Wow, beautiful. Let's go for that one as well. Asparagus and blue cheese. Beautiful, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Enjoy.
How lovely, thank you very much. Right, so let's recap, guys. We've got veggie special, which has got asparagus, mushrooms, some other veggies, spinach, and also blue cheese. Then we have the mushroom and sausage pizza, and the classic margarita pizza, which I always have to get. Also good to mention that you've got chili oil here, which you can add in your pizza. Really good. Got extra oregano that you can add as well. And also chili flakes here, and obviously a bit of salt as well. Now guys, moving on to the next pizza. By the way, the veggie special was absolutely beautiful. This is the daily special, I think, and it's mushrooms and sausage, so very interesting. Now let's see what this is saying. Very interesting flavor combination. Very much like a mountain dish, you know? When you have mushrooms and sausages together. Really, really lovely. So here we are at Pizza, guys. Amazing pizza dishes. And we've got the owner, Simone, here, who's gonna answer a few questions for us. Hi, Simone.
Hello, hi.
And we're having a coffee, obviously, because you can't not end an Italian dinner or lunch with a coffee.
Without espresso, no problem.
Without espresso, that's right. So, Simone, I'm just gonna ask you, how did the idea for pizza came to you? What was the story behind it?
But the story behind was I moved to London 11 years ago. So I worked for 5 years in the office, and I didn't find anywhere in London where we could have a quick, good slice of pizza on the go, let's say. I got an uncle in Italy that's got this business. He's also a pizza world champion. Then I decided to adapt the Italian concept to London, where people is much quicker, they need to eat very fast without having to lose the quality of the product.
Seems to be a great success. There's the second restaurant you've opened now, right?
Yeah, this is the second. We opened the first one in Farringdon 6 years ago. It's quite successful. We opened this 1 year ago, and it's going well, so hopefully we'll have a third one soon coming. Hopefully.
Awesome, looking forward to that. And so, what's the kind of ethics behind the pizza you make? Is it like a very natural process, sort of slow levitation?
Yeah, it's the soya, the flour, sorry. The flour is a mix where it contains a few soya flour and rice. To make it much more digestible, it's leavened for a minimum of 24 hours. And the concept behind the pizza is that even if it's in London, we are authentic Italian, so we don't go to a compromise. We get, for example, a lot of requests of pizza with pineapple, with meatball, but there's no Italian. So we want to stay Italian, but always, look for opportunity, but not, going against what Italian food represents. That's the idea.
Amazing. And then obviously the coffee is really, really good.
The coffee is, as you taste it, is proper Italian. It's quite strong and it's good.
On that note, I'm just gonna leave the mic on the side and we're just gonna have some coffee now.
Good.
Cheers. Okay. Ciao, grazie mille. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. So guys, if you want to try some real authentic pizza on the go, come to Pizza, P-I-X-A. They've got one in Farringdon and one right next to Whitechapel. So remember, it's always good for your well-being to try new things, try new restaurants, see new places, try new activities, and pizza is just one of them. Till later, guys.
Thank you very much to Pax. Well, now I'm going to be speaking about a few tips on how to let others help you. So let's take a look at the first point, which is don't shut yourself off. Now, There are many people who have, for example, had a very hard upbringing. Maybe they were let down by their parents, they've been hurt in the past. And because of that, they kind of close themselves off, and they've learned to be very independent, and they even say that they don't actually need anyone anymore. And I can understand that way of thinking, considering everything that they've been through. But at the same time, when they end up meeting people that actually want to help or genuinely love them for who they are, and they're not ill-intentioned in any way, they can push these people away. It's like they won't let anyone in at all, and they think, oh, no one can be trusted. And that's actually not true. I know probably you can't trust any person 100%, because we all fail, we all have our mistakes, and we can't always say that we've never let anyone down. But there are people that, that they're not, as I said, they're not ill-intentioned, they just might make a mistake, but they are trustworthy. So don't shut yourself off to the possibilities of, having people around you that care, that can help you in time of need, just because of maybe things that have happened in the past. Open yourself up to new opportunities. The second point is to start asking for help. So once you have actually found people that you can trust, start to open up, start to ask for their help, even if it's something really small. So we all, for example, sometimes get tired, some people get overwhelmed, especially when things are going wrong. And even if it's just a thing of, can we have a quick chat? Or do you mind helping me with this because I feel it's a bit too much for me? Even that will kind of start to get you to come out of your shell and start to reach out to other people. And like I said, maybe you're used to being independent and trying to deal with everything on your own, and you're not just going to change overnight. But if you start doing small things, small steps, and that will get you into the habit of doing it, and then eventually you'll be able to be more open and ask for help when you need it. So you can always start with family and friends, and maybe if you say, I don't really have trustworthy friends or family around me, or maybe you're on your own in this country, there are services and local charities and local services that you can actually make use of as well. So there's always some kind of help around you. My third point is care for those around you. So when you actually start caring more and doing more, maybe for family members and friends, for example, it actually helps to bring you closer together. And this could also lead to deeper conversations with people. So if, like I said earlier, if you're used to keeping yourself to yourself, and you're not really used to maybe interacting with people and caring for other people, there's no real opportunity there for conversations to start to get closer to people. But if you actually start making an effort, okay, today I'm going to spend some time, I don't know, with my aunt or my mum, I'm going to help her around the house, I'm going to do something that she needs doing. This will bring your relationship closer. And then obviously, the more time you're spending together, the more likely you are to have a conversation. And okay, it might be a bit awkward at first, you might just be sort of having polite conversation, but eventually if you try and ask a few deeper questions, you can get into a good conversation and actually be able to build that trust maybe that you haven't had, to be able to open up when something's troubling you. All right, guys, so those are 3 things that you could consider if you want to let people in and help you more, because it is really good when you actually do learn to open yourself up to people, because there's a lot of things that we go through, and if we don't speak about it, it can seem 100 times worse than what it actually is. But then when you're open and when you speak about things, you talk to others, you find that other people have been through the same thing as well, it does actually calm you a bit, and I would say encourages you as well to keep going. Well, guys, we have reached the end of today's program today. I do hope you've enjoyed our makeover and our real life story, Pauline, today. And if you have a story that you would like to share, don't forget you can email us on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about me and how I beat depression and panic attacks and all sorts of mental health issues that I had, you can go to my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Till next time, bye-bye for now.
I really enjoyed it, but I was very nervous, obviously. But, if it's helped 1 or 2 people to come forward and get help, then it was worth it.